All right. Let's check out what's new in Destiny. All right. Oh, let's get rid of this. Watch Astacross a little bit. All right. Let's jump into the game. Actually, it's not going to really go live until half an hour from now. Or around half an hour. I shall check the service status. Here we go. Just making sure my camera's well placed. I think I might need to increase the height a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's good. Fingers crossed. We could be offline here. I'm not quite sure. But today is the second week of prophecy for the dungeons. And I'm gonna try and do some ultimatum with some random, sorry, there's a piece of dust on the camera, with some god, LFG folks. It's always a fun time. Oh, maintenance downtime. Yeah, maintenance. Yep. Surprised I'm able to get in though. If it's supposed to be offline right now. Yeah, everything's the same here. The same as last week. I should pick this up. I don't really use Lament all the same. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna check on that server downtime. $10 a.m. PDT, Destiny 2 will undergo background maintenance. Game services may be impacted, typical stuff. Oh, wait, what? Oh, no, that was Monday. Okay. 12 p.m. PDT. Let's see, what's that my time? $4:30. Oh my god. When is that supposed to start? I guess they have a bigger maintenance window today. It's a little different. But for now, I might run a regular prophecy in the meantime. As long as we don't get kicked. Let's see, what do I want to run? I'm going to try doing a winter bite build here. I just need to adjust some stats. This one, recovery refill. Okay, we'll keep that. Put this into discipline, probably. Dang. To mention grenades. Let's just do recovery. Why not? Oh. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work out. We got double grenade font here, so we should be alright. And I need winter bite. Gonna do that. So, yeah, definitely gonna have to run scatter signal. Winter bite. Don't really need another glaive. Could do double rocket sidearms, I guess. Or this. Not bad, eh? Not bad. I like the rapid fire though. I'm gonna stick with this and Lotus Eater. Yeah. Going to switch some mods up. Wow, that didn't last very long. Yep, we are offline completely. Alright. We shall wait for reset then. In the meantime, see when Halo Infinite goes live. They do have a interesting Hayabusa thing going on today. Hayabusa coming back. I know I got Destiny 2 reset as the stream. I'm sorry. But we will get to that. Let's see. Oh, that doesn't reset till 2:30 either. Well, I apologize. I probably should have saved the stream for a little later. But, in the meantime, why don't we just do a little bit of a shake up here. Instead of doing another game, we could just watch another stream. I guess, maybe. Actually, let's react to this. Why not? Oh wait, hold on. All right. Up the quality here, my bad. Mint Blitz, by the way. Good Halo creator. Oh my god. He's got some really good clips. Oh man. Guys, if you haven't noticed, I'm a huge Halo fan, and I am not going to talk over him, but I was really hoping for some Halo stuff too, as you can see in my reveal stream. I haven't really given my thoughts on it yet, but my thoughts so far are like there's some good games showcased. I'm looking forward to a couple of them, like that Clockwork one, and even Outer Worlds. I haven't tried the first one. I knew it was good. High on Life as well. Like there's good games showcased, but it's just my game. You know, the game that I like to play is not there, and I think a lot of people feel the same way about that. At least a lot of Halo fans, anyway. And maybe we're a dying breed, but it makes me want to just make my own game, because it's just like I don't understand what. Well, okay, I do understand what the wait is. They are switching their whole studio to the new engine, and that's fine. That takes a lot of time. And then not only that, they got to take time to make the switch, but then they got to take time to make the next game. And the game they're working on now, hold on. Throat's dry. I should probably get a drink. But they're taking time to make the remake of Halo CE. So not only are they taking time to get into the new engine, doing that remake, but now they got to take the time as well to make whatever the next game is going to be past Halo Infinite. I honestly imagine them maybe doing a Halo 3 anniversary as well, but that's a bit of cope, so we'll have to see about that. But oh man, it's going to be a long time until we see a new Halo game, to be honest. I don't see a new Halo game past Infinite's story anyway coming out until like 2030. I'm not gonna lie, like they're gonna be taking a lot of time to reinvest themselves into the new engine and starting from scratch, basically. So, I don't know. I have nothing else to say about that. I really hope he's going to talk about it too, but in the Halo Championship Worlds, that's going to be, I got to check the date on that. Hold on. Let's see. Halo tournament schedule. 29th? Yeah, okay. I think it's the 29th for the Pro Series League. God, I wish I could go to these events. That'd be cool. Okay, it just depends, I guess, but no, that's past events, upcoming events. Wow. There's a lot of money in this. Okay. Wait, that's all. Hold on. Yeah, I think it's the end of this month, from what I'm seeing here. Let's just see what Mint says. Huge point there. That is 25 years from the last, or from when Halo 1 released. Man, if that doesn't mean Halo. Oh. Shrek. Somebody. Oh man. If they do a Doom style reboot, one can only dream. Yeah. October. Yeah. God, I love Halo mods. I gotta play some more Halo mods on this channel. Well, I gotta start doing it, really. Look at that. Oh my god. Hey, welcome to the stream. I know it says D2 reset. I am gonna get into that. I keep forgetting that the reset time is an hour-ish from now. And not the old time. What is this? Oh, that was an ad. My bad. But I am just reacting to some content now, in the meantime, because the servers are down. Gonna let him talk, though. Oh, that book is a whole other thing. It's smart. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'll be trying to get this week, by the way. Hmm. God, I do not care about that. I'm not gonna lie, I do not care. Multiplayer for Halo 5 is okay, but I do not care about that game at all. Oh? That would be pretty cool. Halo Infinite on MCC. That would be pretty cool. Yes. That bandit skin's pretty cool. Oop. I don't know if I'm allowed to stream another stream, but we shall see. Oh, hold on. Yep. It's not inability. Inability is tied to our kit. Now, if these eventually roll in, like that Matter Spark Ball, into our Arc subclass or something, or Prismatic, that would be cool. But right now, it's not. So. Welcome to the stream. I don't know if we're allowed to watch another streamer stream at the same time we're streaming, but that's what we're doing. Because D2 is offline right now. Not for very long. What does that mean? Oh, to another area. Okay, yeah. Well, see, the other thing is, if they didn't classify it under an ability, it'd be like, okay, it's just another deep sight thing. But they're trying to tie it together, and that's a no. No. What are you getting at? My headset. No, we're good. Yeah. Like I said in one of my videos, paying more for less content. Cobalt SG _ SG on YouTube, by the way. More edited stuff there. Yep. People don't have the time anymore like they used to. Here's coming from someone who isn't a big streamer. I'll let him talk. Giving all your time to something that you're not getting really rewarded by, and then... Oh my. What? I'm not going to say it in analogies. I'm not going to say any analogies. I'm going to say this. We're in the same game, and they want us to grind for new stuff, but we aren't getting a whole lot of new content, so we're grinding for new stuff and barely getting new content. You know what I mean? It's like, it comes to a point where you think in the back of your mind, like, what is the point of what I'm doing right now? And that's been creeping up and creeping up and creeping up for years now in Destiny. But it culminated in the final shape, because it's like, okay, we got the big bad, we're fighting them. But now they got to show us what the next thing is. Maybe they'll show us a teaser in Edge of Fate for that. But it's going to be hard to picture that until we see more, because they haven't really shown anything. And it feels like, since they're not showing anything, we're getting barely anything for what we're paying for. And that's the other part of it, the other side of the coin. It's like, are we just paying for a whole lot less because they have less staff because of all the layoffs and all this and all that? They want to put out less for more. That's a business strategy for a lot of big companies. And it's a crappy one. But it doesn't surprise me with Bungie at this point, after getting bought out by Sony. They're going to be trying to make as much money as they possibly can with as little effort as possible. And that's sad. But look, I'm going to keep saying it. I still like the game. I've been playing it for a long time. Maybe I have a little bit of burnout for it, but I do want to keep playing it because I've spent so much time in it. So why? I mean, you could say you could stop playing it because you spent so much time in it. But I don't know. It's a weird thing. Let's keep watching. I can relate to that. Oops, sorry. Rip that away. Yeah. Just keep giving us crafting, but don't let people enhance it or something. I seen a video on that yesterday. It's like, let crafting be a way for people that don't invest too much time into the game to still have decent enough loot to somewhat compete with like a tier 4 or something with the new system. But it's like they're layering all these systems, or they're at least getting a new system in place from the old one. And if they leave old system behind that people loved or hated, it's a really weird thing. Nobody's gonna like that. I'm sorry to say it, but it's again, it's a thing with these big streamers. They have the time to invest into that, and they can say all they want about you got to put the time in to grind. But like people that work 9 to 5s and may have a family do not have time to do that sort of thing. Like, yes, maybe they can pull off a couple hours in the evening, but like not everybody has that time to invest into the game. And that's just reality. They got to be realistic about it. But let's see. Clip that. Then who cares? I think a tier 4 might be enough for most people. Because you can get the multiple perk rolls. You can get the 2 and 2. So it does make the grind a little less annoying. But perks matter PvE. And your ammo. Yep. Sorry. It's like pseudo exotics, which is insane. What I'm curious about, maybe I should put this in a video, is the old content going to give us tier 5 weapons? The master content. That's what they should be saying, is are all the raids and all the dungeons, are they all going to be giving us tier 5 content, tier 4, or tier 5, tier 4 weapons and armor on the master difficulties? That's what they should be saying. Because I feel like that would change the game a lot, because nobody does master content on dungeons or raids because no one cares. If it was at like 1 million, it wouldn't be too bad. There's got to be some give and take. Got to be some give and take. Sorry. All right, I'm gonna let this roll while I go get a drink. Oh, sorry. I'm back. Did I mute it? Oh wait. Where's my headset? Sorry. I just realized my audio wasn't working.
That.
There we go.
With the RNG in Valor's.
My bad.
There's something on that level for crafting.
I'm terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I would have liked that. These are all like, I mean, no lies. Skills did a really good job in this video. These are all things to be concerned about. And at this other side of things is, I'm kind of like at that point where I'm just like, fuck it. There's nothing that can be. There's really nothing that can be done right now. You know what I'm saying? We're going in this bitch here in the next month. Ain't nothing gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, there may be some small tweaks, but as far as like Kepler, what it is,
That's what's not good.
Activities, the destination, how we're exploring the Metrovania style, the abilities that are tied to that, the portal. About the only thing that might change is maybe like the directory and actually being able to add Kepler to the directory. But like for the most part, what you've seen is what we getting. And there's really nothing else we're gonna do. And at this point, it's like, I'm just gonna play it. It's either gonna be great, and it's like, oh wow, and that's the other side of things too. It's like when you're sitting in front of developers of any game, and they have a creative vision for something, you could just be like, bro, that sounds like ass. You know what I mean? But you're also not seeing it in its full scope yet either. You're seeing bits and pieces, and so you give feedback on those bits and pieces. But it's like, at some point, you're almost like, all right, man, you obviously are passionate about this. Fucking cook. Like, let me. If you're right, you're right. And I came into Final Shape pretty skeptical until we saw Prismatic, and I was like, oh, that's fucking dope. But I did go.
We can't have a Lightfall 2.0 on our hands here.
Through April, I was very skeptical. I just thought Final Shape was gonna flop, and I really thought that. I was like, man, because I mean, just the layoffs and the delays and everything else. But then they cooked. You know what I mean? And so, this is their thing. They obviously have a vision for this, and maybe, just maybe, the way we explore Kepler ends up being something that's like, wow, Bungie's really onto something here. This is great. On the other side of things, maybe it's shit. It could be shit. And if it ends up being shit, this community will let them know literally within the first 24 hours. Like, yep. I don't even think that long. I would guess literally within the first 12 hours, this community will let Bungie know, and all of us know, it's shit. And we'll be playing it. And you'll see our frustrations, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not good at puzzles. I'm not the greatest puzzle guy. You know what I mean? Like, I would say I would rate out of 1 to 10 on like raid mechanics and puzzles. I'm probably like a 9.5, but I'm not humbly speaking, maybe like 8.5. But I mean, like, here's the thing: I'm not the best at these puzzles, and so when we get into the destination, you're gonna see me struggle a little bit. I'm gonna have kind of a tough time. There are times where it would be very obvious where to go to next, and
that won't be me, by the way. I'm pretty good at puzzles.
I just wouldn't see it. My shoulder got tapped so many times from a dev, and they would be like, "Hey, Cross, it's this way," or "Cross, it's over here." And it got to the point where I would just be like, I just turn around and just be like, "Fuck is it? The hell is it?" And some of you may run into those frustrations. Now, here's the other side of things. Some of you may be able to just be like, just completely just taking the world, and you're like, "Yo, this is dope. I'm seeing it, man. God damn it. This is the skill set that I've been waiting to show off for years," you know? Destiny players are used to having their hands being held. I think we're just in a Slayer mentality.
Maybe.
That's why, like, we really liked Onslaughts. Like, we're like in a, let me get my build, let me hit my buttons, and let me just shit on things. You know what I'm coming from? But then suddenly just slow
No
up and be
brain
like, wait a minute.
killing.
You're going to kill some things. But now you're going to pick up this Scorch Cannon looking thing. And you're going to teleport. And then you're going to turn into a ball. And you got a time limit to go places while in this ball. Don't fuck up. You fuck up, you die. You know what I'm coming from? Like, it kind of just, it does break the mold. It does break the mold of what we're used to inside of Destiny. And so, you know, you're going to go from being this, as Gus, actually, as Scatterbrain just said, a mean killing machine to now, now you're a puzzle guy. You know what I mean? Cross, I watched day one. Let me say this, okay? All right, everybody be talking that shit. I was the first person on my squad to figure out Verity. All right, I was the first person to figure out Verity on my squad.
That true?
I'm hearing all this bullshit. Justice, thank you so much for the 5, man. Make destination materials useful and upgrade guns for that destination.
Hold up.
I wasn't bullfucking shit. Go ask Les. I was the first one to figure out Verity on my...
Pixar brings you the most original movie of this.
No, he's muted because they did this for the raid race, by the way. Man, why have I not done this raid yet? I need to do it. Alright, we're just gonna skip ahead a little bit.
Guardian down. Guardian down.
I can't believe champions run day one. It's crazy. Half an hour here, folks. Hmm. Oh yeah. There you go.
There was always a story. Guys, this is literally pulled from Skillup's interview, where he even said himself that it showed the live discussion with Joe Ziegler, and one of the points that was brought up that was
Go back a little bit. Green screen.
no, Joe Cross is the art director, guys. He's not the creative director. Oh my god, my fucking face right now. There's a lot of directors. I know it gets confusing. It's like, what the fuck is the hierarchy around here, right? Who's the guy? Director, all that stuff. Joe. So now the creative director. Okay. How the fuck did we have a narrative director if there was no narrative? Was my understanding there was just going to be a framework. I got, you know, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Zuvi with the 14 months, thank you so much. Yeah, you know. I would say is a step above lore chords. You know. They should delay to 2027.
I think Marathon does need a delay.
There was always a story.
Or at least say it's being released
Guys,
as
this
a
is literally pulled
what do you
from
call it?
Skillup's interview,
Early access.
where he even said himself that it showed the live discussion with Joe Ziegler.
Then they could make it
and
free.
One of the points
Slowly
that was
upload the
brought up
game and
that was
then
that
have it as a
the narrative
paid
for
thing
Marathon,
eventually.
It was simply the framework that was
Just
getting
a
built
thought.
upon, but nothing tangible. Jake the All Right disproved it. Zelda, grab me the clip. Grab me the clip. I'm completely down. If that's the case, that's fantastic. I don't really understand because Skillet was in the interview with Jake. No, who was he in the interview with? Wasn't Jake. I'm thinking of a different Jake. Who's the guy from Game Ranks? Is it that Jake? I don't want to hear no shit talking about Skillet in this stream. I don't know. That ass will be banned. Pay to win or not. No, it wasn't Grenade or Jake. It was another Jake. I mean, his name is Jake. Yeah, Jake. Baldino. There you go. I got it. Zelda, send you're repeating the same thing, brother. Send the clip where Jake the All Right disproves it to one of the mods. Christopher, creative director, because it was a position that meant he didn't really have any power. He just kind of just sat there and did nothing. They were trying to put him in somewhere where he didn't cause any problems and they can continue the investigation. So they made him the creative director, right? It was Jake Mehoff. Oh, was that the Jake? My bad, Halo. Fuck, dude. I don't know. Right, so she's now taking over for him? Yeah. Alright, well, I mean, look. I don't really have anything to go off of on Marathon, guys. Oh my god. Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys, dude. Halo. No, Halo. No. That's some bullshit. Halo, you were literally at my house yesterday. Halo was literally at my house. Halo, you come into my home. We break bread together yesterday. We fucking shot film yesterday together. and you fucking come in here and bait me with fucking Jake me off right now. Are you shitting me? The betrayal right now. All right, guys, I think that's it. Is there any other information to cover today before we go play Destiny? I've got nothing else, I don't think. Luke, unless we have anything else to cover. Now Dragon's got a... Hold on. Let me see. Is there cube stuff? No. Just add crafting to marathon to save it.
Oops.
Cross, are you going to SawCon this year? Dude, suck on these nuts. Don't fuck with me, Ryan. let me say this. If you are free to play, you can't fool me right now. All right? Halo was only able to fucking fool me because Halo quite literally came to my home yesterday. There was a bond that I thought we established. Okay, hold on. So Jake the All Right here.
Yeah, that's what it... Specifically, it is the episode of their Friends Per Second podcast where they say this about the story. Yeah, that's what it is. In addition to that, there's some story stuff. But
there's a framework of a story.
There's a
plan. There's a hint of a plan.
Concepts of a plan, yeah.
Concepts of a plan.
Jesus. And I think again, it's unfair to judge that now because what Bungie have told us is that the narrative framework is built, so how they plan to tell stories in Marathon, but the narrative itself is not built, and it will be sort of built in the lead up to launch and post-launch. So they keep talking about having story as a central part of this experience, but I don't imagine cutscenes, and don't imagine this is a story-driven game or anything like that. This is a game that's going to be about little things that you find and lore entries. And as we discussed in the interview with Joe Ziegler, this will be a game where a lot of the story will be delivered by YouTube videos, in inverted commas, where other people do that detective work for you and then kind of put it in front of you when they've assembled it all.
Sorry about the ads.
You're playing of Marathon. I think there is some major miscommunication
I do not pay for YouTube.
About the story for this game. There is an extensive narrative in the game. Direct story beats told via in-game tasks and contract completion. Environmental storytelling dictated like the entirety of the visual presentation of the maps that I played. And there is an extensive separate terminal menu that presents the story.
If you're watching the stream afterwards, I apologize for the wait.
The original games. I might have misunderstood them, but the idea that the story hasn't been written or something.
I usually start the stream a little earlier than when the reset happens, but I did it a little too early this time.
Also, for a fact, we know that John Goff has been designing this world and its story for well over 2 years since he worked on the first ARG as well, alongside OG Marathon dev Robert McLeese. I also think that what Joe Ziegler is describing in their interview in regards to the story is the consequence of telling a story that is as abstract as what they intend to do here, just like with the original series. It's all love for the folks over at Skill Up, but if I heard what they were saying and didn't have the context I have from playing the game, I would have a very different understanding of what the game is, and I think that's confusing. Maybe they or someone else has already talked about this to clarify, or once again, maybe I am misunderstanding them, but my understanding is Marathon is a very filled out, written, larger world with a clear narrative that they are presenting season to season, and that this has been thoroughly planned for and is present. Honestly, so much stuff within the levels themselves are attached to story beats directly from the contracts that I don't fully understand how this confusion gets made, but I understand they had very little time with the game and probably didn't.
I think it's just like I think it's just like what do you what does story and narrative mean to you? Is it lore cards? I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that's narrative. Um, you know, you could say that yes, you can read lore cards and
The
that's part of
easiest
the
way to
narrative
think about it is when you
experience, you know
look
what I
back at
mean?
the Halo games, or
Story is
even
not a
before
narrative.
Halo. Back before
Is it a
Halo, when there
full-blown
wasn't big
campaign? Obviously, it's not a
cinematics,
full-blown campaign.
it
We don't have a
was
campaign in Marathon.
stuff you would read, and some things that would take place in the game.
Buy videos
But
is
that's
narrative.
not really acceptable anymore, unless you're a small-time studio, which Bungie isn't.
Grimoire cards. It's actually an important distinction.
So,
In chats.
got a weird cough today.
Oh no, everybody in here loves Marathon. What are you talking about? That's why everybody always wants us to talk about it. Environmental storytelling is not narrative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just continue this.
Environmental storytelling
Didn't
is a
experience much
aspect
of
of
the terminal
narrative. It
system
is
that was
not.
I'm sure I'm missing
The
like a ton
narrative
of feedback, but this was just the stuff
itself.
that stood out to me that I felt like I had something to say about. Obviously, stuff like microtransactions and live service issues. I don't know if there's like a good response for, because in a sense, like, this is a live service game. Surely there will be microtransactions. If you don't really like that experience, that's not something you're interested in, this might not be the game for you. But I don't think that makes it a bad game or what they're trying to do not worthy of enjoyment. I get why you might not want to play Marathon, is what I'm saying. The story is told through terminals and world elements that are not immediately understandable or available.
There you go. The world is told through world events and terminals. I'm actually okay with that as long as it's like, I mean, it depends on how it's told. If it's just like, here's a wall of text, you know what I mean?
Not that great.
But if there's like actual like live events and stuff like that, where
That's
you
what they
are
need to do.
seeing, you know, everybody like dicked on the Almighty crashing into Earth, but I thought that was pretty cool. You know, I had a good time with it.
For a Destiny event, that was pretty cool. It was alright. Took a bit too long,
Live events would be sick.
but
This was how the story was told with OG Marathon.
it doesn't make an excuse though. Nowadays.
Yeah, as far as microtransactions go, it's whatever, dude. I don't even, you know what I mean? You know, my thing is don't have any pay to win elements. That right there immediately like ends the discussion for me as far as entertaining your game. Secondly, I would rather one or the other. Like in my opinion, the best world is either you charge for your game and then have everything in the game earnable, or you make your game free and you have a store in the game, but obviously still no pay to win. And then you can fluctuate prices based on player feedback.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and
Basically,
sit
they did a
down,
really good job
but I will let
releasing
him talk and mute
by
myself
dropping the
in the
prices.
meantime.
They needed to drop the prices. They did drop the prices, but it is a free game and it's just cosmetics you can buy from the store. I work 9 to 5 and I love pay to win. Good, you piece of shit. Somebody, mods, handle this man. ECGMR, somebody fucking handle this guy. I don't want to see this from the corner of my eye right now. You like fucking pay to win, so do I, and you're free to play in this stream. Let me give you an example.
Available, the visual approach is unique and may not fit what you find personally appealing. It's an extraction shooter with mechanics that many may find frustrating. It's, live service experience that will definitely feature the microtransactions, like I was saying. The characters are, for all intents and purposes, heroes, and you don't seem to have control over their visual presentation currently. Communication or team focus might not be present in a way that you have engaged with before, or you might prefer another approach, or maybe you don't like playing with teams at all. All of these things are valid reasons that you may not connect with the experience Bungie is offering. For me, I don't mind these things as they are presented in the game.
We
I
back.
think that a dynamic multiplayer experience in this world with a Bungie shooter feel is very cool. I do think that if you're on the fence or open to trying something you haven't been comfortable with in the past, then Marathon might end up being a very fun game for you. and you shouldn't discard the idea of checking it out based solely on the complaints I've talked about here. I also want to say that it's all love to the folks I included in this video. I don't have any animosity towards them. I just wanted to lay out, their ideas to express how I feel about those same things. Thanks for having the courage to put your thoughts online so that we could all experience the exchange.
All right, all right. This was a video. Then this was a month ago. So, but okay. So again, though, I kind of understand what Skilla was saying. In my opinion, I think what Skilla was trying to say was don't expect a campaign-like experience in delivery of the narrative, as confirmed there from Jake, as it's just going to be through terminals and whatever. Like, and there's also the Umbrella World events, by the way. It could be a variety of ways, and I'm down with that. But it could be literally something like, hey, it's a new season. The map is now it's got a lava pit. You know what I mean? Story, right? Or it could be delivered in a way where you're like, there's a live event where there's a
Kind of lazy.
About to occur here, and we have a lava pit. There's no story in Marathon. Extraction shooters don't have campaigns. Yeah, that's fair, man. That's fair. And I think that, if OG Marathon players are completely happy with the way the narrative is presented inside of Marathon, who am I to complain? I wasn't even, I was alive, but I didn't even give a fuck. I wasn't playing games then. You know where I'm coming from? So if they're happy, sure. I tell you what, we're not even going to cut this up. Like, this is not even going to be a video or anything we're making on Marathon. Marathon has gone dark, which I think is probably pretty wise. And I wouldn't, if I was them, I wouldn't say anything until you had something of real substance. And they got a bunch of other problems, including whether or not they're still going to ship out in September. So I'm kind of in the same camp with Marathon, a little more pessimistic than Destiny, of course. But like, my thing is, it's like we've talked about it enough. Let's just play fucking. We're gonna play it. I'm gonna play both of them, and it's either gonna be great or it's not. And I will say this: players vote with their wallets, so we wouldn't even have to say anything. Trust, Bungie will know. Bungie will know before the game even comes out, based on just pre-orders. Marathon React video canceled. What do you think about adding new character classes to Destiny?
Oh, that's a good
I am
idea.
always advocating for sexy shit to be added to Destiny. Things that equate to maximum sex appeal.
Oh
New
my god.
subclasses, new supers, new archetypes of weapons, maybe, but new rarity,
Innovation.
jiggle physics,
God.
big aliens. But seriously though, there are just some things that, like, when you see, your hand just immediately reaches for the wallet. You know where I'm coming from? There are times where you watch a trailer from Bungie, or really any development studio, and you're like, instinctually, you're like, how did that credit card just get there? Why am I typing these digits in? Why did I just authorize this payment? Why am I pre-ordering? And look, there are things that a development studio can show you where you automatically do those things before you even fucking know it, brother. Before you even fucking know it. And the problem is, it's like, which Marathon hasn't opened up pre-orders. Bungie has for Destiny. But, man, there was like moments there I feel like, you guys were like, you were reaching for your wallet like you normally would with Destiny, and then suddenly your hand just stopped. You're like, wait, what? What is this? What am I looking at? What? No new subclass?
Yep.
Destination abilities?
It's just lackluster. It feels like less.
Now the Star Wars stuff may be enough. I don't for some of you. That may be enough.
If the Star Wars thing comes out and we have a
I
whole
hope-
new
I hope
subclass
Star
or
Wars
super
okay,
or
maybe.
prismatic things and whatnot, okay, sure, but
First content, I didn't do $100 pre-order for Destiny 2.
that's what I
New
might do
character
too.
classes like Titans and Warlocks. Yeah.
Welcome to
Look,
the
here's the thing.
stream. We're
The
going
best
to be jumping
policy-
into Destiny in 10 minutes.
And I'm gonna say this like
Stick
I
around
I
for
hate
some
to kind of-
Prophecy Ultimatum.
But I have found the best policy to get me to shut the fuck up has been just to overwhelm me with information. Even if there's bad information in there, even if there's some bad shit. If you hit me with a Vidoc that's 45 minutes long and it's just one thing after another after fucking another after another. Even if there's some bad stuff in there, I'm gonna be information overload and I'm gonna be like, brother, there's just so much shit. I'm gonna be like, wait, I didn't like that one thing, but there's fucking 20 other things that sound dope as shit.
That's the problem with
Sleep
this
back to
expansion.
GGG. Yes, I'm glazing GGG right now. Yeah, dude, that fucking game, the game director and those guys that are at GGG, man, they're just like, it is nonstop, just fucking information vomit. You know what I mean? And you're just like, oh, what the fuck is happening? There's so much happening. I just don't understand why Destiny needs to collab with Star Wars when they have their own universe to expand upon. Like, why? Money. I guarantee it. Someone on Bungie's board
Oh,
is
yes.
either friends or directly tied to Disney in some way.
Sony.
You know, you gotta understand. People, board members, they like rotate. There's like it's like rotating.
Sony's
they'll-
involved with
they'll-
Spider-Man,
one person on a board may be
and they're
either
involved with
on
Disney.
another board for
And
another
now,
company, and then
since
they
they
rotate
have
to another one. You see where I'm
Bungie,
coming
it's
from?
like
from like Viacom to all of it. They all have kind of they know each other.
crossovers are big money printers.
Or Sony. Could be Sony. Sony and Disney have their agreements. Right. Could be Sony. I hate that Star Wars is being introduced. I don't really care as long as it's not like the only focus. You know what I mean? If Renegades turns out to be like, hey, you got a lightsaber now. I mean, don't get me wrong. For a moment, it's going to be kind of cool. But if it's like, if that's the only selling point outside of a couple like themed pieces of armor, yeah. It's Star Wars themed. It's not Star Wars. I love Star Wars, baby. Renegades needs to pop. Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. Who the fuck gives a shit about Renegades? Why are y'all concerned with that? No. Edge of Fate needs to pop.
Titans, all
We ain't
your
gonna make it to
lives, you've
Renegades.
only known
Brother,
one way
gives
to
a shit?
live.
I don't give
To
a fuck.
smash.
Star Wars or not. That's an
But
eternity
Mr. Game
away
and
from us.
Counselor is here
I could give a
to
fuck
be
less.
your sensei. That's
Edge of Fate.
right. Instead
Edge
of
of Fate's gonna have to
smashing
pop.
walls,
Or none of
I'm
you are
here
going
to
to
trade
give a
you in
shit
the art of
halfway to
being
Renegades.
the wall. That's right. An unkillable, god-slaying
If we're leading into a Rogue Guardian storyline, then Renegades would be the right thing. I don't give a shit. Mods, pin a comment. Cross does not give a shit about Renegades. Okay. Alright, what else we got happening here? Chat, we're just sitting here and bullshitting. I'm kind of hungry. I'm thinking about going to go grab my food real quick. Is really Marathon dead? Bib? Absolutely not. Marathon is still being cooked until it's announced otherwise. Don't worry. You will have Marathon at some point. Warcraft's still an NDA. And it may be the greatest game for you. Or it could be shit. Honestly, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Like I hope Marathon is either one or the other. Like if it's just like meh. I want it to roll out and either be fucking fantastic and like they make the greatest comeback ever. And you know, it's like, oh my God, these fuckers, they cooked, man, they cooked. Or it's Concord 3.0 or 2.0, whatever. Concord 2.0. Geralt with the 10 get this subs, man. Geralt, thank you so much for the 10. Chat, please drop some love and eggplants. Actually, I don't wish that on anybody. I don't want Concord 2.0, but it would make for good entertainment. It would. I gotta admit, man. It would make for good entertainment. But we'll see what happens, dude. We'll see what happens. Again, I'm just at that point with all of it, which is like, there's so many great games that, guys, we'll be okay. I want you to know that. Like, if we have to find another home and play another game, I promise you, there are other good games out there. We will be fine. All of us, we will be fine. We will find a home. I know we're going to be wandering around like refugees, fucking trying to search for the next game to find, to call home.
Yeah.
We'll be fine. People are cooking out there. We will find another
That will
home.
be me. No. I will be the one to put out the next Destiny.
Old school RuneScape. I mean, the cube looks good. I'm gonna fuck with the cube.
You know what's a good idea?
Borderlands.
Mixing Dune the
Cube.
Dark Ages gameplay
Odyssey looks good.
with Destiny's looting and stuff.
As far as extraction
With
shooters,
some
we got
Halo,
Arc Raiders.
more balanced mechanics
You know
and
what I'm saying? I'll be playing Arc
everything, and
Raiders.
sandbox.
And dude, we make it. If we just make it,
That could be goated.
2026, we got GTA 6. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I think about.
We're fine, guys. I promise you. Got wild gates. We got split gates to scratch our PvP itch.
All right, we jumping in 5 minutes.
There's a lot of great games, everybody. Trader, you said you will be the last player on Destiny. I will be. I'll be the last player on Destiny. I will log in the day if they ever say the servers are getting shut down on this particular day, I will be there. I will be there. And I will hold strong for as long as I can.
Hell yeah, brother.
Splitgate for PvP, Final Fantasy 14 for Destiny, and Destiny for PvE. Yeah. Destiny for me needs to last forever. I get that, man. I get that. I understand where you guys are coming from. And I feel for y'all. I've gone down this path before. I've been... The love you have for Destiny is the love I once had for RuneScape. Okay? And I hope your story ends up better than mine. You know? It's crazy to think people like you, Cross, are actually realize that Destiny 2 is in a massive decline. Such a great game that is falling apart and it's sad. Well, that's where Edge of Fate comes in, man. Hopefully Edge of Fate can turn around. And look, guys, I'm cautiously optimistic. All right? I am cautiously optimistic. I see the vision, or at least we've been told the vision that the devs at Bungie have for this upcoming expansion. Let's see if it pans out. And if you want to wait and just see how that release looks, dude, just wait. Chill. Hang out. The more of you eliminate yourselves from the day one raid race, even if you're just 24 hours behind my squad, the better. Matter of fact, I hope none of you pre-order. I hope you guys decide to buy the game potentially Friday morning. And that would make my life so much better.
He just wants to win. He just wants to win. Oh my god.
Will you ever give Division 2 a try? I played Division. I like Division. Yeah. Absolutely. Alright, turn on some music, guys. We're gonna be jumping back in, everybody. Let me grab a snack, dude. I'm hungry.
3 minutes. Alright, since we only have a couple minutes, I'm going to back out of here and load up the game. But yeah, while we wait here, I guess I'll spew about more thoughts, or get my thoughts out there. I'm going to be cautiously optimistic about Edge of Fate. It seems like over the past year, they've had, or even year or two, they've had a lot of rough development and everything, and layoffs and all the controversy with the art stealing and everything else in between. I just hope they can pull through, because if we get ourselves into another Forsaken situation, and back in the day when Bungie was up against the wall, that's when their best stuff would come out. Usually. But, this time feels different. It feels like they've been hit down a couple pegs over the last little period. Final Shape was one of the best expansions they've made. Probably the best. But that was a long time coming. I really want to know how long it actually took them to make the whole thing. I'm guessing 2 years, 2 or 3 years. But that's why I'm sort of not expecting a whole lot with Edge of Fate, because they do usually do this typical thing. Like, we would get Shadowkeep, and then we'd get Beyond Light, and then we'd get Lightfall, and then we get Final Shape. You know what I mean? There's always the low and the high, which is not a great cycle. Honestly, makes me wish they would just release something every 2 years, because then they would have that time to cook something in the oven and, you know, bake it to perfection. Should be live here, but I hope it's not going to be in for another couple hours or something like that. Might have to jump into some Halo Infinite for the time being. Oh my. Oh, you know what? There might be an update. Hold on. 1 second. Checking for updates and everything, folks.
That the bit rate is maybe also applying to other resolutions. I don't know. I'm just seeing 720.
I have not played Renegades. I have no idea. Canyon with the 2 months extortion. I'm not getting an update. I wish, guys.
Now that we have gotten a bit more.
Let's react to this video while we wait.
Now that we have
Why not?
gotten.
Oh my.
About the Edge of Fate, I figure it's a good time to boot up the old what should I do to prepare for the next expansion video. Absolutely. Anything that you don't think you're going to use, anything with mid to low stat, the old what should I do to prepare for the next expansion video. So, what should you actually do to prepare for this next era of the game? In reality, most people do not need to actually prepare anything at all for Edge of Fate. I still think people should, you know, at least watch the video to see if they want to wrap up any last-minute items on their list. But if you don't really care that much, then not preparing will not prevent you from enjoying the newest expansion. Number 0 is getting the free weekly Bright Dust in the Eververse store. They're giving out like 700 dust a week right now. That is free cosmetics and stuff. So, like, you know, get it. I think most people know the first thing that I'm going to suggest, and it is still my number 1 suggestion: vault cleaning. However, in case you didn't watch any of my Edge of Fate preview videos for whatever reason, before you start deleting your armor en masse, let me just explain something real quick. Stats are getting a massive revamp in Edge of Fate, where half of the stats we have right now are just gone, and the other half are being slightly tweaked. Your current armor will be converted to this new system, and the stat rolls that you have will be converted in the following ways. Mobility is going to turn into the weapon stat, resilience is going to turn into the health stat, recovery is going to turn into the class stat, and then the other 3 are just converting to their new names. So like discipline to grenade, you get it. The stat totals will convert at a 1-to-1 ratio. If you have farmed some of the best armor in the game, namely Artifice armor with very high stat rolls, then you might end up using this armor for a longer time than previously anticipated. This armor is equal to around a tier 3 or even tier 4 quality piece of armor, of which there are 5 tiers, so it's pretty solid, assuming it has the stat rolls that you want. On top of this, there will only be 6 different combinations of armor stat packages that launch with Edge of Fate. So there very well may be some combinations of stats that you would like for a future build that won't be dropping in the ideal configuration for that build, at least for now. That means that no, not all of your armor is becoming irrelevant in Edge of Fate. That being said, new armor is getting some flat bonuses in order to encourage players to use that new stuff, in addition to set bonuses on the new armor. But there's nothing that says you can't mix and match old and new armor. And Tier 5 armor is not going to really be that available before the Edge of Fate raid launches, if at all. Tier 5 armor will eventually outclass some stuff, but if you're looking for certain stat packages, it might be better to roll with older armor with the stat blocks you want versus newer stuff that you might not want. Then
there we go, we're getting an update.
Ability energy generating perks and effects now scale with your stats. Bungie very recently did a breakdown of how stats in Edge of Fate will compare to today's stats, so let's very quickly review. Tier 10 of a stat right now will be equal to 70 of a stat in the Edge of Fate when it comes to regeneration rates. 70 is the new 100.
70 is the new 100.
Edge of Fate. Anything from 71 to 100 of a stat will make it even better, while anything under 70 will be worse. This also applies to perks like Demolitionist. Right now, this perk and other perks like it
Interesting.
give a
My
flat
bad.
amount of energy every single time. In Edge of Fate, they will scale on a similar level. If you're at 70 of the grenade stat, then Demolitionist will work exactly as it does right now. 71 to 100, it works even better. But under 70, it's going to be worse. This is another thing to consider when purging your vault of armor. If you are going to want specific setups of stats to accommodate your builds, you might want to hold on to those items until you get some more solid replacements. Now, do I think you can delete some of your armor? Absolutely. Anything that you don't think you're going to use, anything with mid to low stat rolls, most of that stuff can go. Any stat packages that will be one of the 6 appearing on Edge of Fate armor might also be somewhat on the chopping block. But spiky, unique stat combinations might still be of use to you. I also fully anticipate that people will start trying to farm armor right now, Artifice armor, with the intent of getting rolls that will convert into the stats that they will want in the expansion, namely a lot of mobility armor because it's turning into the weapon stat. Go figure, the only reason mobility armor in PvE is ever going to be good is because it's getting swapped to something completely different. I do not think the average person needs to bother with this, but there will be hardcore players out there farming older Artifice armor because it will convert well. I do kind of view this
All right,
as
we're gonna get into the
somewhat
game.
of a...
I get impatient. Also, we might check out some Halo Infinite later. We'll see. Yeah. We're gaming now. Alright, any new messages? Continue your conquest of the Prophecy Dungeon. A quest is now available for a holofoil version of Judgment. Ooh. Let's check out the store first, shall we? Alright. Bright Dust. Make sure to grab that. Oh. Yeah. Charity item. I haven't looked at these yet. Interesting. Oh, that one's kind of cool. Really reminds me of Saint's color scheme a little bit. Hapaloclana? I don't know. I can't pronounce that. Partition Recoil. Pretty cool ship. Won't be my cup of tea getting that, but I do like that art, I guess. Serrate Oath. The skin is neat, I guess. Kind of looks like a Fortnite gun to me. Is that right? Cabriolet. I should get these. These look cool. I kind of like the classic car look to these ships. I also just like the military aesthetic in Destiny, though. That's kind of cool. Fortunately, nothing I will be picking up this week, though. I am waiting on the Strand and Stasis armors to become available. And Bright Dust, because usually they do. They made the Void Arc and Solar ones available for Bright Dust, so we'll have to wait and see. is the strand armor? Might be in here. Archive. Well, maybe not then. Hope they bring back that strand stuff. Have some cool shiz. Anyway. Just get this out of the way. Some free XP. Let's go get our quest. Actually, what's the Grandmaster? Hypernet Current. Nice. I'm gonna go check if it's shadow price this week too. Alright.
Hi there.
Yeah, I want some double perks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nope and nope. Oh, yeah.
Hi again.
I was doing this when I got cut off. Alright. Let's go that. This.
Sure. Rhythmic physical expressions won't win a fight.
And that.
And feeling good.
Yes.
Perhaps a barter is warranted.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, shadow price. Might end up doing that GM a little bit because it's not a bad one to do. I'm gonna grab another shadow price because I could get something decent with my extra stuff. It's not terrible. Don't mind that at all, actually. Attrition orbs, one for all. I don't know if I want to trade that for my volt shot roll, but I'll look at it later. Alright. Let us go get that quest now. So yeah, Hypernet Kurt this week with Shadow Price. I doubt anybody's interested in that. But what we will do that's interesting is Ultimatum Prophecy. Well, what was that? Well, thanks, Bungie. Oh my. Should do some Vesper's Host. Some point too. Really need to get Icebreaker. I wish I wasn't tied to that dungeon. Alright, Orin, what do you got?
I deal in judgment,
Yes, you do.
an object of power. We have business more pressing than this. The end is here.
Alright, I'm gonna keep farming for sudden death because I still don't have that swash 1-2 punch roll. Or not swash, trench barrel, yeah. I wouldn't mind swashbuckler either, honestly, though, as a titan. Did they? No, same ones, okay. Alright. Wait, why did I lose a strange coin? What? That's weird. Alright, I'm gonna return to orbit. Do some ultimatum. I'll put the requirements up a little bit. Optics. There goes flawless. Oh my god. Did I get that emblem? I don't even remember. Oh my. I thought I got rid of the hotkey.
What is the dark, they ask? What is its nature? Why don't they ask the same of the light?
Alright, that should fix that from happening ever again.
Light and dark, heaven or hell. What's the difference?
Well, that's our question, you lunatic.
Wait, was there no dialogue? Ah. Oh my god. I'm usually a good player. That did not make me look like a good player, though. I can't believe I just got one shot. That's crazy. Ultimatum is no joke. Ooh. All right. Interesting roll. Oh, second try is not bad. Don't know how these later encounters are going to go. Where is it? Over here. Ow. What the hell? What is this little taking guy on? Get out of here. Oh, I just got a sudden death from one of them. Wow. Oh my god. Man, he is surviving. I don't know how he's surviving. He's really going for it. Oh, he's got one on his ass now. Yep, that's it. That's a wipe. Eh. That kind of sucks. Alright, we peacing out of here. Sorry for not talking so much. It gets pretty hectic. Ooh. That could be pretty decent, actually. Alright. Brother, what are you doing? And rage is near. What? Hmm. Ouch. We did it. Hell yeah. Oh. A D-stab repulsor roll. That's not bad. I don't care about that. Ooh. Might have to double check that one too. For later. One second, guys. This might be a shorter stream today. Or at least ended a bit abruptly. Alright. I'm gonna finish this off and then I have to go for a bit. I might come back after though. So we'll see. We get this dub, we get this dub. Heck yeah, brother. Heck yeah, brother. What? How did that teleport me? Brother. That sucked ass. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know what happened there. Stop focusing me, my god. What did he do? What the fuck is going on? buddy, you're fucking killing me right now. Little farm going, little farm.
Target down.
Oh my god. We gaming. Sorry if I'm a little mute this stream. I find it hard to concentrate and talk at the same time. See, perfect example there. Oh boy, it just gets super hectic. We got this. Brothers. That might be it. Alright, I'm going to end the stream here. I'm not mad or anything. I mean, it's a little disappointing, but I really got to go.